So we're practicing another reading, and you don't have a hand position given to you. So you're forced to learn how to recognize the first note in your left hand in bass clef, as well as recognize the first note in your right hand in treble clef. So remembering a little bit, and I still do this because you're beginners, remembering the trick that I gave you for space note. So for the bass clef, it would be all cows eat grass, and they're all space notes. So all would be over here, cows would be over here, and you realize that's your eat, E, right? So this note, you've identified it as E. And it says finger number 3 on it. So left hand finger number 3 on E. The E that's below your middle C. That one. Okay, let's move on to the right hand. The right hand, the trick for the right hand that I gave was face. F is here. Oh, well, that's F right there. That's F. But the trick, just to remind you, is that F is there and A is on the second space and C is on the third space and E is on the top space. Face. So review that video on mnemonics or tricks to remember. All cows eat grass goes with the bass clef, and face goes with the treble clef, and they're all space notes. So now we got it, and I'm going to erase your trick here because you don't need it. You figure out the beginning for each hand, and now you have to put number 4 finger on F in the right hand, and that would be the ring finger on F. And now you're ready. So how do we read notes? Well, sometimes we just guess. The most, the best or fastest way is to guess, because from here E, we just step up. Space note to line note to space note, step up. And then we count. Oh, there's another note for us to figure out because this is so far from the previous one. Then you have to go back to your mnemonics again. What was that trick again? You have all cows eat grass, right? So all would be here. Oh, that's cow. That's C. So that's C. And that's how you figure it out. So then you go, okay, so it's C, and then what? C, and I step to the next line note, then I step to the next space note, and then I count. And only then do I practice my right hand. Number 4 on F. So F, and then what happens? I step down to the next line note. I step down to the next space note. Ooh, that note is far away. How do I figure that one out? Well, there's a way to figure out by counting, and I would strongly suggest you print these out and you actually draw in the stuff in between. So if this is where you are, we're at D, then this line would be E. The note on this space would be F, so you skip over E and over F, so that's G, and that's how you figure it out. You're drawing the notes in between them. Okay, so here we go again from the beginning of F. F, and then we go step down, and we see that we are skipping over these 2 that we drew, so there's that G. Ooh, and then what's going on here? Line note down to line note, that's a skip right there. So I'm skipping. And from then, you only doing stepping. Keep having to change my pen. So from here to here to here, I'm just stepping. E, stepping down to the next bass note, and stepping down to middle C, which I'm supposed to recognize. And that's how you learn how to read. Okay, so you can go slowly at it and draw things, and then just try it one more time without stopping. Here we go. E, and up, ch, C, up, ch, and then F in the right hand. F, step down, jump over 2 keys to G, Then the skip, E. Step down, step down. So that would be an example of how to read and all the steps that goes in between before you actually read that. But what if you don't have that exactly in the same position? So that one, let's try number 13. Okay. And if we go through that and we say the same, in the same manner, we are like discovering what the starting notes are. Starting notes for the left hand and starting note for the right hand. Then what are they? Can you use your mnemonics and try to give me the answer before I tell you? So the right hand first note is F from face, F with number 4. So you put your F, number 4, and leave your finger there. And the left hand is starting note is what? The trick I gave you was all cows eat grass. So this is even higher than grass. It's one notch higher than G. So therefore it is A. That's an A. And we want number what on it? We want number 3 on A. This A, the one that's right below middle C, right? And the right hand, we want the 4 on that F, right above middle C. Whoa, it's crowded. Yes, sometimes you have a sight reading that where the thumbs are both sharing the same middle C. That's the position for this sight reading. So here we go, the right hand. F, and then what happens here? It's a skip. Space note to space note, D, and that's the middle C. And then the left hand goes A, and then skip to middle C. And then the right hand goes, oh, what is this note again? Oh, I remember now by the time because I saw it over there. Sometimes also you're starting to recognize exact space of a certain note. This note here is the same as that note. It's hanging at the bottom of the 5 lines, and that's a D, right? So that's D, and then I'm skipping up again, and then this time I'm just stepping. So let's change the color to yellow. From here to here is stepping. From here to here is stepping. So D, and then skip up to the space note, stepping down to line note, stepping down to space note. And then this time, that is far away. I have to use my mnemonics of all cows eat grass again. Okay, so all is here, cow is here, eat is here in the space, so that's grass. That's G. G, and your hand didn't move, so that would be G with a 4. And then that's middle C I'm supposed to remember. That's it. So you figured it out. Now let's play from the beginning, right? No more of this tricks because you are supposed to do that on your own. Here we go. F, right hand, skip down, and middle C. And the left hand has an A, and the middle C. And the right hand has a D, orange, and then skip up and step, step, and the left hand has a G, and then the middle C, hold. And now I took my hands out just so that you can see my hands better. You can keep both of your hands just right there as you're reading through. And notice again, this position is when thumbs are sharing the same C. And you will have several of these type of reading, and several books would put you in a position where you're playing a song with the hands in that position. Let's try this one, number 10. In the same manner, try to find your first note in the right hand, and then your first note in the left hand, and put that finger there. So if you've done the work now by yourself, I'll give you the answers. This is a G because face begins here on that space. So that's one notch above F. So it's G. How about that? Well, that is one of those notes you should be remembering by now, and that's middle C. Okay, and now let's look in advance so that I don't have to, basically, so I don't have. Okay, is this a step from line note to line note? No. Is this a step line note to line note? No. Is this a step from space note to line note? Yes. Line note to space notes? Yes, it's a step. Next key. Space note to line note? Yes, it is a step. From this space note to this space note, is it a step? No. But this space note to this line note, it is a step. So all my steps are highlighted in yellow. And I will now highlight my skips in pink. This is a line note, and to get to this line note, we skipped a key. This line note, to get to this line note, we skipped a key. This space note, we skipped a key to get to that space note. So you could see that reading here is guessing steps or skipping. Skipping a key or just go to the next one. So now we're ready. Number 5 on G in the right hand. And let's set up our left hand in advance. Number 1 on C. Okay, so both hands are set up. And we begin. So first we go G, 2, and we skip down to the line note 2. And the left hand goes C, 2, and skip down to A, 2. And the right hand has, what's this note on the first space? By now you should remember it's face. So it's F, step down, and step up. And the left hand has a G because it's all counts in grass, and that's grass. G, skip up, and step up to C, 2. So now we have played that. And it's not necessary to repeat it like until you get it really fast or anything. I would repeat it about 3 to 5 times, and focusing on how to count F-A-C-E for this treble clef, or all counts in grass for that one when you get into trouble. And that's how you improve on reading notes. Let's see if there's another one. Okay, let's do this one, number 2. Number 2. So again, we do the same identification of the first note in the left hand and identification of the first note in the right hand. So try it on your own before I give you the answers. So this left hand is all cows eat grass. That's grass right there. So it's G with number 4. And the right hand, this is one notch above F from face. So this is also G. But the right hand is number 5 on G. And this one is a little hard because you're going to have to remember certain notes. I asked you to remember middle C because it's very particular. It has this little ledger line on it. So you should remember this middle C. And then just earlier, I asked you to remember D because it's hanging at the bottom of all of the lines. So that's D in orange, right? So I'm circling things that you should be starting to remember, even though this is your maybe 3rd or 4th reading. So that's how we kind of go about it. So let's start. Left hand, number 4 on G. G, 2, because it has 2 beats. And then the middle C that we recognize, and that's just a step down and step back up. 2. And what's that again? All counts eat grass. That's grass. G, 2. Then the right hand has a G, and that orange note at the bottom of all the lines is D. And what is that again? Oh, that's the same one. Sometimes you have to also recognize you're going back to the same one you just played. So it's G, down to D, back to G. And then from there, you are stepping and stepping. 2. And that middle C you recognize. 2. Some of them are harder than others. This one was a hard one. So I would just practice reading every day. And every week we will do a few like that.